Roll call.
Mayor Laura,
Present.
Vice Chair Vasquez,
Here.
we have a quorum, Your Honor.
Allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible.
Invocation.
All right, good evening, my name is Methodist Church, the Liberal Ministerial Alliance. I invite you to join. Indeed, the giver of all good, successful plan, it's all intended for the good people of your fair city, of our fair city. We know that you are mindful, as we are, of the tremendous among a variety of constituencies here in Liberal. So keep us alive among our commissioners and city staff as they consider proposals and procedures in this meeting. Help them to make wise decisions for the good of all citizens, as well as this good earth that we inhabit as a gift. God, I pray now as always through the love and peace forevermore.
Awards, proclamations, and presentations. The agenda.
Agenda as printed.
Second.
Commission, we approve the amended agenda.
Vasquez, and a second by Commissioner Warren. Moving on to item number 3, minutes.
June 27, 2023 regular meeting minutes as printed.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Lindenbroker and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? 5-0, motion passes. We'll move on to item number 5, items from
I want to say our commissioners, and so Belinda McDonald. That happens in October, and it is domestic. Tonight to let you know that we have pavilion for October the 1st. To have a domestic violence, blood pressure, but it's really people know what goes on in their life. And here in our city, many of you may not know about the work that LARC does, and LARC and together in October to we'll have been murdered as a result of domestic violence. People not getting involved. Take for in 2022, 300 new clients. For men. I don't want to take a lot, but I wanted to read something about Dr. Lark, to let them understand that their socioeconomic background. It does not care. And so we as a community, I believe a healthy community is a growing community. And we have to inform our community about some of the things and some of the ways that they can protect themselves. Dr. King's efforts to get attention of the people around the world, Nobel Peace Prize. This is a very respected award given out once a year in Norway. He is the first shown us that the struggle can be waged without violence. He is the first person to make the message, and he has brought this message to all men, to all. Personal note, as at a higher rate. My mother took her own and jumped off a bridge, and fishermen found her floating at 3 o'clock in the morning. To shed light on and shine light and bring awareness to our city and to our community about keeping everyone safe, and knowing that you can call at any time you are threatened or you are feared. 997233. The threat of deportation. We have a wheel that's called the power and control wheel. I have taken classes in protective order. It's 2 of the calls go on when they have to go to a domestic violence situation. It is an unknown atmosphere that they're going in. Support as we on domestic violence in partnership with Lark Liberal Area Rape Crisis Center and Domestic Violence and the Martin Luther King Jr. team. That is my presentation. Do you have any questions?
None at the moment.
None at the moment. We have someone to do a nice dance for us. We'll have some information out there, and we'll also have with every woman's story about how she was red flags. And so please, let's educate our community. A healthy community is a growing community. Thank you so much.
That of
Gonna be?
event of Larks.
It's right down the street from the Brick, if you know where the Brick is. To the Brick, but I want to make sure people have adequate information. In the beautiful. That is where it's located. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate.
Okay. Any other items from groups? We need to make a motion to reserve the pavilion.
If that's what is it available, I guess, number one?
Larry did all that.
They already did that.
It's already reserved.
Yes.
October?
It is scheduled for the 20th. We had to cancel Liberal Night Out because of the weather, but we have our form filled out and we come to ask for a waiver. We're good to change.
So waive the fee, correct?
If the
Okay.
commission wants that at the current time.
I've already paid the fee.
So
Did you pay the reduced?
I'm like, so.
Just stay up there for a little bit.
But for a different reason.
So when I went to $5, yes, park from 6 in the morning to 11:30, we will seats in those people want information flyers. We'll have some music and we'll have some kind of creative dance to help people understand how important this is and just really. I don't know if it's going to be more, but I'm sure.
I think it should be waived or not.
No, then I would have to be on your agenda. Group.
Rules with the city, we actually do it in the items for groups.
Oh, okay.
We changed that. That change.
Potentially to ask for a waiver next time, but I don't know what's gonna happen with the fees coming out.
Item number,
Let me know, Alicia, somebody will contact me. That's fine. More. Since you brought me back to the mic, I want to thank Fair, the 1st of October, that the city would offer free rides for our citizens.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Hey, Jose.
More details.
Cutting in and out on the broad.
all right, any other items? Seeing none, we'll move on to item number.
The consent agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. 7.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. The reason I'm here tonight is because of a typo I made on the last resolution that I did 2 weeks ago. So I'm 98. It's kind of how you want to do this. Number 8 is just to rescind. B is the new resolution with the correct information at this time. And then Part C is to approve the bid for T&B towing.
Rescind resolution 2398.
A motion by Commissioner Warren. All in favor? 5-0.
Resolution 24.
Motion by Commissioner Ward. All in favor? 5-0. Motion for
I'll make the house at 809 North Pennsylvania.
by Commissioner.
Unlike last time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. All in favor? 5-0. Motion passes. To item number 8, Resolution 2401, intent to levy a property tax exceeding the revenue neutral rate.
Resolution 2401 serves as official notice to the Seward County Clerk of the city's intention to exceed the estimated mill rate for September 12th, 20.
So remember, Commissioners, we have no intention of raising the rate. This just gives us so the notice they get about mill levy that we had last year. But we've got some nuance. Remember last year I said that was a one-year thing, so creative again. Keep the mill levy the same.
Okay.
Number 20.
Motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second. All in favor? Willow Tree Clubhouse liquor license.
Request to file the city into hours and hours through all the ordinances and state requirements and cost estimates and revenue estimates and design estimates. We want to gauge the commission's willingness to pursue the liquor license. We have a number of people who violate twice. Which would essentially of our legalization, hiring a marshal to go cart to cart and waste a lot. We want to get the commission a full liquor license. You guys got an email from informed about the restaurants that it would hurt about the city. Or no, we're
Commissioner Lindbergher,
I'm against it.
Commissioner Vasquez.
Into it. I can't say I'm 100% in favor of it,
Same.
but,
Okay. I'm okay with, research. If you have a concern, to reach out to us, let us know what your concern is. See, I'm okay with moving forward with this.
This and have not done it successfully. Spending a large amount. I mean, if you've been in the clubhouse, you can tell it's from the 70s, and there's some updates that need to be done. Not substantial. We can go Cadillac, but we're more looking at Malibu as far as the upgrades to the clubhouse. The college did a marketing study for us last year, so there's a number of things that we want to implement. It's a big one. It's pretty complex.
Thank you.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commissioners. This is the taxiway to our crosswind runway. So that way air as fast as possible. Tech study, it's mainly what it is it's an environmental study for that portion of the airport that it's due to it being an old military base, but now the FAA amount of the by the FAA when not to exceed 50 manager to sign any and all paperwork that are included with this. And there should be work on the airport.
so what's their time frame, Brian, in, at least the study portion of this? When would we look at possibly getting started on this?
Once we get the agreement signed, I'll get it sent back, and it should start possibly the end of this year, the start of next year.
Okay.
So, and then the actual taxiway project probably wouldn't start till after October. No. The old abandoned runway. It does become available.
It is.
You said it's for the crosswinds?
Yes, it's for the crosswind runway. Yes, 422 is the runway. So, because as of right now, there's only 2 exits off of it, and what this will do is actually put a taxiway exit off in the middle of the runway. So,
I'll make a motion that we accept the agreement not to exceed $50,000 to be taken out of the grant proceeds and allow the mayor or the city manager to sign any and all paperwork that is included with this project.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Is there any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Moving on to item number 11, Recreation Center, Gym, and Fitness Room.
All right. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, I'm Matt Quint with the Liberal Rec Department. I'm here tonight to talk to you guys about the next phase in the rec center and moving forward with the future. With the sprinkler system passed, we've moved on to the hallways and carpet. And now we're finishing up with that. We're going to be moving into the patio. Asking that we wellness and health for city staff and moving forward with a fitness center at the rec center. So staff is recommending using advanced exercise fitness solutions to equip the fitness center for not to exceed $115,000. Any questions?
What time frame does that quote get us? Is
So,
it-
yeah, ordering that now, it gives us about 2 months. Equipment would be here.
And then this will be for staff only?
For full-time and part-time as of right now, yes, sir.
Okay. Are there any plans to open that to the public since it's in the rec center?
It is in our membership package deals we've kind of put together. We haven't got those approved yet by you guys. Working with our little study groups to say, and we're putting that out there for them to see how they feel about the options and moving forward. But that in the future, that could be an option.
As of right now, don't we have a program for,
Yeah, so right now, if you attend 8 times a month, the city pays for your individual membership.
are we gonna nix that to do
yes.
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I called you this afternoon, and
Yes,
I
sir.
understand this is gonna be funded partially by a grant from Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yes,
To
we,
get us down to the 115.
yes,
correct? And then the 115 will come out of 1 cent sales tax?
the rec center project, yes, sir. And we received that Blue Cross grant, I believe, 3 to 4 years ago for a fitness equipment. And so that'll tie into that, yes, sir.
How much was that grant for?
35,000.
Did you look at any other places for quotes for equipment?
Yeah, a company out of Oregon, where if you worked out on the equipment, it was supposed to power back the equipment, but the price tag came back too much.
Well, and I explained to Matt too, I mean, and to Rusty, I have a little bit of heartburn by the fact that we're paying for staff equipment out of the 1 cent sales tax fund. To me, if we're gonna pay for it out of 1 cent sales tax fund, it ought to be available to the public. Now, if we were gonna fund it out of some other employee benefits fund or something like that, I'd feel a lot better about it. I'm not opposed to getting it, I just,
Right.
that's my issue with it.
Do you believe if, while you're still working out this package, that will open it to the public, the prices would change dramatically on this equipment if we were to say, table it or hold off for a little bit while we're still figuring that out?
The prices for the workout equipment have already gone up in the last 3 months. I don't know, I don't know on that side. That would be a salesperson answering that call. But I get that totally, with your concern on that. The biggest thing you'll be running into is competition with local gyms. And we want everybody to attend gyms, and we have great gyms in our community. This is just another option of getting people mentally and physically fit. And that's a big part of retaining employees for the city of Liberal and recruiting. And we talk about recruiting at the government and locals, that's another aspect of it.
Do we know what our budget, what it costs us that we match? Like I said, we pay memberships for people that use it, right? Do we know how many people of our, what is it, 200 some employees that,
This year on average, it's been about 30 people per month. That's
And-
$30 we pay.
so that's $900 a month? Or, I guess it'd be over 10,000 a year, wouldn't it? So it would take 15 years to pay for the equipment over using what's, yeah. Which would be used up by then, no.
I'll help guys like me and you. You're in better shape than I am.
I don't know,
I
personally,
think,
I mean, the employees pay sales tax too. They pay property tax too. People forget that we're all taxpayers. I mean, we get that thrown at us a lot, you know, you're spending our tax dollars, well, we're spending our tax dollars too, so. And it never hurts to incentivize employment.
But we are
If
doing that with the paying the $30 a month though, right?
Yes,
I mean, we don't pay a partial part of that, we pay all of it, right?
correct. As long as they meet the
So, I mean, that's.
8 trips.
Yeah.
I'd probably be more comfortable in waiting at least for another meeting, get some more input from employees as well to see how they feel about it. Because I kind of agree with Jeff on that. It gives me
Yeah.
a little bit of heartburn until we at least get that facility ready or the contracts ready for the memberships, so that we know what that location is actually going to do.
We just have to be prepared, because it's gonna open a huge can of worms when the city offers a gym, when we have 6 other gyms
Yeah.
in town. So, as long as we're prepared for that. Because we get that every time we do anything, that city should be in competition with others. And if our rates are too cheap, then, just gotta be cognizant of that. Because we're gonna get it should be for free, because my tax dollars paid for it.
And I get that. Like I say, you got 30 people, you got 30 employees out of 200 that are using it now. And maybe that goes up some. But if you're saying, okay, well, that's tax money too, well, that's, maybe 50 employees. So
And we've
if we
had-
could find it funded some other way, I have no problem with it whatsoever.
And we have 485,000 in employee benefits fund that we're gonna transfer to the general at the end of the year. I mean, if you'd rather use that instead of sales tax, we could fund it that way. I think we're asking for trouble if we open it up to the public.
And I get that. Have you polled you said we have 30 people that do it. Have we polled those people and see if they would prefer to use the one at the rec center, or if they prefer to work out where they're at?
that was my next question too. Would they prefer to continue going to their gym, or would they be open to trying? Because we don't also want to invest all this and then they don't use it and they're going back to their gyms.
How many do we have signed up that we charge every month? Because if, we have 30 that don't get charged. We have another pretty good chunk that are signed up and don't make their trips, that payroll has to go back and deduct their
No.
money.
If they don't go for the month, we don't charge them, or the gyms don't charge us for them to attend. So it's only if the employee attends the month, then we have to pay for them, and they have to attend 8 times. So we're not paying like if you go sign up, of course, January, February are really popular, and then you fall off, and then you go back. We don't have to pay for the months that you don't attend. So,
I was notorious for having to pay because I didn't make it 8 times a month.
I'm guilty.
Is this, like, would I be able to go down there and work out when nobody else is there? Because if that's the case, you might have a lot more people join.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason I go to gyms, because it's 24-hour gyms, and if you can't get in there, it has to be when the rec center's open, so most of us work all day.
Right.
That's why I was saying, I
Right.
didn't know if it was something that employees got a code, they could go in and work out. You know, if they wanted to.
And that was,
walk in the morning.
that was something we discussed at INA, was the keypad,
Mhm.
or the employee code to get into
Yeah.
the gym, and I'm not sure. We're still waiting on that $5,000 part for the other $80,000 part of the security system at the rec center. So I'm not sure where we are with that.
Yes, but to answer Mr. Beers' comment, yes, the goal is to have it 24 hours a day. So at 2 in the morning, you can't sleep, and you want to go run on a treadmill like you usually do, you'd have access in there with your with it.
So, like from, you said, from employee benefits, it's very so to be competitive and to also show our appreciation for employees, gesture for them, and not just that with men. This would just give them better equipment to.
Can we change the proposed? Would that be acceptable to the finance guys and girls? So, do you want us to table it for a meeting and then come back to this next time?
I believe that it would be acceptable if it's deemed as a benefit to the employees. So the only issue with that would be at the end of the year, we would have to amend the employee benefits budget.
And also, if you do it that way, then you're stuck only allowing city employees
Right.
to use it
Right.
for the duration. Period.
Which, at the end of the day, if we fund this, I think that would be the better way, because I don't want to open another gym
Yeah.
in competition with the private gyms.
And we definitely have more gyms now than we did
Yeah.
even 10 years ago or whatever, 5 years ago probably, but
What was the
10 years
Blue-
ago for sure.
What was the Blue Cross Blue Shield grant? What was that earmarked for?
It was physical equipment, technology-based, so it had screens that you touched and bikes that charged up TVs.
Was
to
it,
get-
was it specifically for city employees or for the city, or did it specify?
It was just deemed for the rec center,
Okay.
fitness center.
Anything about how they're thinking about running this that would cause issues with that money?
I could look into that. I could check with Blue Cross on that side of it.
Okay. I think in that case, I make a motion, we table this until the July 25th meeting.
What
I think
information,
the cleaner way to do it, if, instead of just saying to table it, just make a motion to move it to the July 25th meeting.
Okay.
So then you don't have to make a motion to bring it off the table and address it.
Make a motion, we move this item to the July 25th meeting.
and what information are we looking for?
Whether that
would-
grant can be used for, if it's employee-based only, right? Because
As well
I
as
think
how
that
much
maybe,
That it's good coming out of the employee benefits.
Yes.
And I would also like to see maybe like a survey just on how employees would feel if they had access to this type of facility, like input from the employees.
because we're really looking at, what I see that we're looking at then is we're looking at this gym for being an employee's benefit for the city and not going in competition with other gyms in the city. We might actually end up taking a few members away, but those members would still have the option to go to another gym if they wanted. I'm not sure that they would, but
No, the idea was that this becomes,
the other goes away.
yeah.
So if they went to the other, they pay it on their own.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
But
There's a motion on the floor.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Mayor Lara and a second by Vice Mayor Parsons. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Motion passes. We'll come back to it next,
All right.
next meeting.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 12, the lobbyist agreement.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, we went back to we went back to Watkins Public Strategies, asked about the federal funding assistance that HB had included as a $2,000 option. They agreed to do that for the $4,500 that they had included in option A. And so they kind of made HB kind of a moot point. So you have two options before you for Watkins Public Strategies, option A and B. Option B includes the communication with the Highway 54 corridor cities lobbying for the 4-lane from the state line to Wichita. So really, the only question, so you guys were kind of overwhelmingly in support of Watkins last time. Now, really the decision is whether you want to include option, if you want to go with option A or option B.
So again, they have the better infrastructure, at least in Kansas, for lobbying for state purposes as well as local entities. So I definitely support them, and then knowing that their base price was already a cheaper price than what we would get combined with the other ones. So definitely in favor of using them. I'm also still in favor of that Highway 54 because I think that is just something that's kind of crucial for our area if we want to really focus on future development. And as much as I wouldn't mind going to every town and, you know, going to commission meetings and saying, hey, let's work together, I think I'd rather have a professional do it and then work with them while Watkins Public Strategies basically does all the hard legwork and we just show up to the meetings. So, but what are your guys' thoughts?
I agree with you. Any work we can do to help with our highways, it may not pay off within this first year. Obviously, probably won't, but it's groundwork we lay down the road. So I would be in favor of option B as well.
I'm
No
in
other
favor of
opinions?
option B as well. Just get more for the value.
Are we voting on this tonight, or is this a consensus deal?
No,
So
this
somebody's
one-
got to.
This one needs a vote.
Sh-
This contract to go into force August 1st?
Yes.
I would note too, that option B, it's 78,000, not 87 as the.
No, it says plus 10%.
Or plus 10%, oh, up to,
Yeah.
in case they come out.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Russ.
So it's 80. All right, I'll make a motion that we allow the city manager to sign the lobbying agreement with Watkins Public Strategies for an amount not to exceed $87,000 to be funded from the economic development portion of the 1 cent sales tax.
I'll second that.
And I will say that the mayor discussed this with Focus on the Future at the meeting, and they were supportive of utilizing the sales tax for this.
I have a motion by Commissioner Vasquez and a second by Vice Mayor Parsons. Any further discussion?
And that was for option B, right?
Option B. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? 4-1, motion passes. Moving on to item number 13, nonprofit community group and government entity building rental agreement.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, as the city attorney's kind of pointed out, you know, we don't really have a mechanism in place to give the buildings away. We've been doing it. So we derived a 50% rate for nonprofit, community group, and government entities that would like to use our buildings. The rest of the rental agreement remains the same. This also prevents you from having to hear every time one of these groups want to use one of our buildings. If they still want to use it for free, it's got to come to you, but it would be staff's recommendation that we never give the buildings away because there's still cost incurred regardless of how good the cause is. But it's a 50% discount on the price of the buildings.
I would note if the commission decides to proceed in this manner, we probably need to pass an ordinance, amend the city code to address this process, as well as change the fee, because the fees are set in, I think it's Exhibit C to the city code, and those are set by resolution. So at the very least, we'll have to pass a resolution to put this into effect, to have the fees put into place.
Will that resolution just be to amend our existing fee schedule?
The resolution sets the fee. I'd have to look at the code a little bit closer to find out if there's anything within the ordinance, or within the city code itself that would require an ordinance to modify it. But if you all are, if a majority of you are in agreement to proceed in this manner, then great. I can work with Keith and we can get an ordinance put together to address whatever city code issues that we'd have that'd be in conflict with this type of a process. And it may just be something as simple as just having a resolution that sets the new fee.
So if you're good with this, at the 25th meeting, you'll get the resolution to make it official.
Yeah, resolution or ordinance, or both,
Yeah.
depending.
So this is really a consensus again, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. I'm good.
All right, we'll get that resolution / ordinance, or ordinance put together and have it for the 25th.
The only thing I'll say is I'm not happy with the amount. I would have preferred to be a lower amount for the groups that we're kind of going for, but I guess we can.
They can always come to us for other.
Do what?
They can always come to us and ask for 0 or.
Then what's the point of doing this?
I mean, nonprofit doesn't mean non-revenue.
That's
And a
correct.
lot of the other entities that come, they have their own buildings they could use, but they choose to use ours. Seems like we get taken advantage of a lot by, I mean, there are some very valid groups and causes that you guys have comped, but some could well afford the fees that they pay. And some have buildings of their own that they could use.
No, the ones that have their own buildings, I definitely do understand, but this is another one of those that gives me heartburn that, first of all, the price we charge even the public, but secondly, one thing is to look at it that we're being used, but I believe that the city does service that part of the community anyway, so my goal would be to have lower fees for that, not only for these groups, but also for the public. But that's a discussion for once the fee schedule comes back up. But anyway, I think you guys have consensus, so, we'll go from there. We can continue this discussion in the next meeting.
The only other question I had would be in regards to the deposit, and the only reason I say that is I was on the Cinco de Mayo Festival for a long time, and for me, it would be almost, like, I'd have to take so many more steps just to provide cash versus then, like, we always have a checkbook. So, my question would be, why does it only have to be cash?
We can change that. You don't
Because, I mean, if
use
we're
credit card or-
nonprofit, yeah.
Yeah, we can, and also, we need to take the word key out of deposit. Because we have had people say, well, I've already got a key to this building, so I don't need to pay your deposit. So we've got some policing up to do, we need to do in there. So we can take cash out, just put deposit amount.
I think we are doing this.
Okay.
Might be looking at old, but I think we put cash deposit down. Or building
Okay.
deposit is what it says.
Okay.
And the reason we do the deposit in cash is the deposit in cash, once it goes into the system, it not only goes to our system, and if you do it with credit card, it not only goes to 2 other systems, it also goes to finance. And finance, it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get back. So finance has to mail that out on the next check run. So say the check run was tomorrow, it would come out in 2 weeks. Let's say you wanted your money back on Thursday, the check run's already been done, so it won't go until 2 more weeks, and then you get another 2 weeks to 3 weeks till you get that check back. So that's why it is.
On top of that, we've had people with their checks at bounce. They've
Yeah.
trashed the building, and so we've taken the deposit, and they're not able to cut it.
They do, all they gotta do is stop payment. Monday morning, you're not giving them the deposit back, they just stop payment on the check and we're out.
And since we went to the cash, it seems people take a lot more care of their cleanup.
Yeah.
They want that money back. We wanna give it back, please.
No, I just think like we usually delegate it, so I'll say like, so-and-so go do this, but they're not on the bank account. So for us, it would be like, let me give you a check, or let me give you the card and you pay it.
Right.
So should we do it
For
for
nonprofit, I can see-
nonprofit
I can
groups?
see that.
We allow checks still? And then the public at large cash?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Okay, moving on to item number 14, the Chance Road Apache Lane RHID Development Agreement amended discussion.
Okay, so Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, this never-ending RHID with Holly Ridge. The developer has proposed a new agreement in which the city pays $1 million toward the street, and we, what's the proper term?
That we're the recipient of the tax revenues later.
Okay.
I mean,
We get the $1 million back out of the RHID first, and then we get 50% of the next 1.5 million of the RHID money back to recoup our costs for the land, the 4 lots that we had to pay for, the drainage, the construction, the street inspections, the sewer line we moved, and the design fees. So where we were spending $600,000, we now get all that money back. It's just we're essentially building the streets for the Holly Ridge addition. But
Which in
we're
that
fronting the money.
process, because of the interest rate, there's about a savings of anywhere from 300 to about 400,000
For the developer.
for the developer.
Yeah.
But that's also for the RHID, so that's 400,000 that the taxpayers don't have to pay back the developer's bank. So that's at least 2 to 3 years that we get to cut off of the RHID if we do it this route.
So this is another consensus item that Gilmore Bell will put into the final verbiage at the hearing next month. Do you
I'm
remember?
not sure when it's gonna be. I know Karen's been working with them and
August-
she's CC'd me on them, but I don't know.
August
the
8th?
date.
Yes, okay. At the August 8th hearing, if you agree to this, this is the verbiage that you will vote on at that hearing. So, once again, the city pays $1 million for the streets, and then splits the next 1.5 million with the developer. in
That
tax
we've already paid.
Yes. Well, we paid land, drainage, sewer line, design. We haven't finished paying the street inspections yet because they're not done, so. And then the developer will have 60 months to complete development, and then we have the option to take any undeveloped lots after that. He estimates, initially estimated 3 years for a full 47-unit build. Now he's expanded that because the builder has told him he can only you can't build quite that fast. So it's very similar to what you approved last time, it's just, there's a second element to it.
And really, you're gonna have an actual development agreement, which you will take official action on later. Rusty just wants some direction from the commission that says, hey, this is fine, we're okay with proceeding this way. It's really kind of a win-win for the city, so long as it all pans out correctly. Cause like he said, you're already getting some cost recouped that you've already have spent, you're out of pocket on, so.
Will this be something I need to abstain on again, Lynn? Since it doesn't really change the outcome?
It's just better to be safe, Ronnie,
Yeah.
and just
I did think of something else being on the other side, though, that I got a question for you to think, just for you to think about, though. So if we're deciding this, whether Marvin pays for the street or the city pays for the street, I should probably ask you this later, but, so what if you don't decide that before somebody owes money for the street?
Sorry.
Somebody could actually end up, the project is ongoing, there could be money due, and you change to who it, you leave it, you go with the direction it is. I could probably discuss that with you and Marvin.
So, we did discuss if we could call it audible, I guess is
Yeah.
what you're asking, and Gilmore Bill said yes. Because you haven't approved the final RHID yet. So even though the street work's already begun, the sewer line's already begun, it's still okay for us to receive the entitlement. Is that what you're asking me?
Well, no, I was actually asking, as far as paying your bills,
He's asking who's
who
supposed to charge.
pays? Cause the developer is starting to pay after a certain point, that's why I say maybe I should just be asking this
Okay.
later.
Okay.
Because it really doesn't have anything to do with this action, it has to do with
Timeline and
with
payment
business.
structure.
Okay.
I'll ask you later, something for you to think about.
Okay. So, I'm okay with moving forward with this idea.
Yes. So did this idea come out after we did the last one
Yes.
with the addition down by Big R? I'll be a no.
Okay. So, we have 3.
Thanks.
Okay. We have a consensus. Moving on to item number 15, agenda software.
Commissioners, this is just a reminder, we will go live at our next meeting with the city clerk software. So if you guys need help or want to log on, I can give you, I think you guys want during your training should have it. It's gonna be liberalks.civicclerk.com/view. I can email that to you, but I just wanted you to know we will be going live next meeting. So hopefully we can get through it.
That's just informational.
That's it. Yep.
Okay.
And do we need them to do a test run the week before?
We would like to do a test run. I don't know if you guys wanna do like a quick meeting beforehand, or if we just wanna do a small group at City Hall, just kinda go through everything. I do have, I think I can go back and pull up some of our old agendas that we practiced with, if you guys want to do a test run that way. We prefer to do a mock meeting, special meeting, and kinda run through a couple of things, practice voting. You guys can kinda tell me, I know we've had some issues trying to log in and with the site and everything, and now everyone should be good to go. But you guys, if you guys want a training, we can do that before our next meeting. What do you guys think?
How long do you think we need? Because what if we just showed up like an hour earlier before our
We
next
can-
meeting, like
we can
4:30?
do that.
If
On a
you-
work session for an hour.
Because I
before
know the
meeting.
training session was about 30 minutes. When
If
you
your
guys did
logins
that.
work, it should only take you about 15 or 20
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
like, I think, would be-
It'd be nice
I
to
mean,
make
I-
sure it works in here.
yeah, that's why I'm like, if we just did it before our meeting.
Okay. Do you guys want to schedule a special meeting for
5 to 5:30.
5 to 5:30?
Or should I get that
Be good with me, yeah.
July 25th?
Okay. We'll do that. Moving on to item number 16, executive session. I move we go into executive session for 15 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel pursuant to KSA 75-4319B1, which is the personal matters of non-elected personnel's exceptions under the Kansas Open Meeting and include the police chief and city manager to the executive session. We will go in at 6:33 and return, I went to liberal,
6:48.
6:48. I like that answer.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Lindbroker and a second by Commissioner Warren. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0. Okay. Any action from executive session?
None.
Moving on to item number 17, city staff.
I have nothing tonight.
I have leftover from the last meeting, so I just want to throw this out there. It's basically about the storm. So when we had the storm, we did pick up the limbs. And I just want the staff to get the recognition they deserve. The street department, the water department, the parks department, the building maintenance guys, they spent 3 days of that week picking up all the limbs all over town. That's not counting Juneteenth. They worked all day that day, and that Sunday before they worked, and Saturday night they were out during the storm. And we appreciate everything those guys did. The other thing is, I know you've noticed the street ceiling has started, and I think the flyers say till August 11th. Mike Hess is saying maybe a couple of weeks they'll be done. So when they're done, we'll do a public service announcement so people can start parking back on the streets and they're not having to wait.
And when their street's done, they can park in the street too then, right?
Absolutely, yeah. If they've chip sealed your street, it's okay to go ahead and park there.
Yep.
The other thing, I think I told you about Benish being in town. They were here a couple weeks ago and surveying Can Creek and all the manholes and getting depths and everything for their deal. Brian gave them an okay to fly their drone, so you might see a drone in the next couple of weeks flying over, doing survey work too. Okay?
That's the company doing the
The floodplain.
floodplain. Travis?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Travis Martinez with the Liberal Rec Department. Coming up here to let you guys know about a program I just recently started with the Rec Department. I know a couple months ago I introduced you guys to the disability program that we had started. And in January I was approached by Medicare about a program to see if we had it at the Rec. It's called Silver Sneaker for elderly and disability individuals 18 to elder. So from about January till the first of this month in July, I've been working hard. It takes about 6 months to get approved in a facility to be part of this group. After 6 months, we sent all the contracts, all the stuff to Chris and Scarlett to read those over, and we did get into a contract with them at no cost to us. It's another benefit that the Rec is going to offer to the community. This benefit and the program that we're going to go with is called Silver Sneaker. We are two different. One is Silver Sneaker and one is Prime. I am the fourth location and around the area. Guyman is one, Dodge and Garden are another location. So basically what Silver Sneaker is a health and fitness benefit designed for Medicare eligible individuals. It's included with any Medicaid Advantage plans and selected Medicare supplement plans. So Silver Sneaker is not included in any Medicare or Part A or Part B, but this is for adults 65 or older and some younger. Our other benefit is our Prime. The Prime part of it is a fitness benefit offered by selected health plans and employers groups from 18 to 65 or older. So this plan will help bring a different part of the community into not only just our disability and our normal individuals, but it'll hopefully get some of the elderly out and about and come to the rec center. I know we talked about our fitness center there. This doesn't just include a fitness center. This includes if they want to play pickleball. There's different stuff that I go through and training that I went through online. This will all be part of a program. So basically the way the program works is I check their ID or their Medicaid plan, Silver Sneaker or Prime cards. I'll input it into our online system, and if they're eligible, our Silver Sneaker is $21 and our Prime eligible members is $30 at no cost to them and no cost to us. Once I put that into the program, Trinity Health is actually gonna reimburse us our check, or not reimburse us, but is gonna put a check out to us every 5th of the month. So just want to introduce you guys to what our new program is there at the rec center. We are the only one here in Liberal. That is Trinity Health, and Silver Sneaker is the new program. So we'll be offering that for elderly and disability from 18 to 65 or older. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Any other comments from city staff? Okay, seeing none, moving on to item number 18, city manager's report.
Just a reminder, the city commission forum is Thursday, 6 to 8 at the depot. It'll be live streamed on La Mexicana and on High Plains Leader, and broadcast on 107.5. And I am told August 1st is our day for the new commission chamber.
We're open.
That's when we're open. So
What day?
August
Scheduled
1st.
to end at the end of this month.
So our first meeting, no later than August 15th, but the plan is August 1st. So as nice as this building has been to us, we're ready to move on.
All right.
I will
All
be
the
gone.
IT stuff ready in there? Yeah, all right.
And I'll be gone for Leadership Kansas, Wednesday and Thursday and Friday next week. It was a fast month.
It is.
That was all.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on to item number 19, items from commissioners.
I didn't have really anything, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump on what Brad said, because I did notice it, that, I appreciate all the work that staff did, because I did notice the branches really did disappear in a hurry. There was a lot of them, but they kind of secretly, I don't think I even caught them carrying them off, but
It's like they were just gone.
but all of a sudden they were gone, and I just kind of didn't notice it. Appreciate all that effort, and it's been a challenge here lately with that kind of stuff going on, and the weeds growing fast and everything else, high winds, but thanks staff for that. That's all I have.
All right.
I'd also like to thank staff, because everybody gets together and we just get stuff accomplished here in this town. It's like, we have a job, we get it done. It doesn't matter if you're the parks guy or the water guy, we all get together and we get our, when we all need to be working, we all get to working. As for the chip sealing thing, if your young kids are out, running around in their cars and burning out through the gravel, if your parents, please tell them maybe to not do that, because why are we wasting taxpayers' money to fix the roads when they're just gonna be tore up anyway? So, and as for the rec center, I've heard it's $2 Griff Golf on Tuesday nights on July, and that's where I'll be going as soon as this meeting's over.
It's
So
fun.
I'm actually gonna play some golf, which is weird for me. And it's your turn.
Well, I've already done that, so have fun. It's a lot of fun. I just want to say thank you to staff. I know you guys hear this all the time, but it's really appreciated, especially all of your hard work during the storm cleanup. It doesn't go unnoticed. It's kind of like Ron said, it's like everything's there and then out of nowhere it's just gone. So we want to thank you for that. Also want to thank the city. We are in the initial phase of planning the health fair. The health fair is going to take Saturday, October 7th at the Activity Center. And the City of Liberal has generously provided free transportation to the health fair. So we're excited about that, because we did notice last year there are a lot of elderly folks who don't have transportation, and they need these free exams, but at the end of the day, it's all, some of the barriers, and one of the biggest barriers is just how they're gonna get to the health fair. So that's greatly appreciated, and we'll send out more information. And then the only other note I have is there is going to be a free leadership workshop by Liberal Lead, which is very exciting. That's going to take place August 23rd at the Ag Building. And if you follow Liberal Lead's Facebook page, you can register, and it's free, so take advantage.
Okay, like everybody said, appreciate, and Chris is 100% right. When stuff has to get done, the staff just gets it done, and that's really appreciated. I saw it for a long time, and it's kind of nice to kind of sit on the sidelines and watch it still happen. So, thanks to all your guys. It was great to see the code enforcement reports in the, I don't know that they necessarily need to be in the agenda every meeting, but it was nice to see the volume of citations and things and notices that are going out. And I was really impressed by the percentage of those weed notifications that were made where it said the owner mowed or the owner took care of the weeds too. So I like seeing that, and it's good to know, because people ask, and it's, you know, I can say, okay, well, we got 85 pages of notices in the agenda, so you know that's being taken care of. Also got an email today. I haven't had a chance to go through them, but got the budget reports for June, which was nice. We haven't been getting those, so I appreciate getting those. And someone mentioned the candidate forum. Rusty, I think, mentioned the candidate forum Thursday. I also want to remind everybody that the KDOT meetings next week. They're actually, I think, going to be presenting some ideas, and so it's our chance to give feedback. So everybody needs to be there for at least one of those meetings next week. So that's all I have.
I'd like to start same way. Thank you to all the staff. After that storm came out, hit about 7 o'clock, went out there, did some surveying, called into these 2 trees that had fallen, blocked some roads. Storm hit by 7. There was not a road with a large branch or tree in it by 9 o'clock. So even though we had massive damage throughout large parts of town, mainly trees, they were all cleared up within 2 hours. So the staff gets together, they work together, and they get things done, and it's amazing to watch it happen. Definitely going to talk, everyone needs to go out, see the forums, put in some questions, just get out there to see what, future candidates are going to do. And some of the ideas will be out there, so definitely get out there and see that. And then to give a time, I think, for the KDOT meetings, I'll be at the Seward County Commission Chambers at 5:30, but they do have an event at 5:15, so I recommend everyone get there by 5, Tuesday and Wednesday, so the 18th and the 19th. The 18th will be in Spanish, and the 19th will be in English and bilingual, so for any necessity. So I think it's amazing they're reaching out. And then the local elected officials have a meeting, I think, from 12 to 2 or 1 to 3 on that Tuesday, the 18th. So it's important everyone gets out there, lets KDOT know we are interested as a community, because that means the next time they come out, they know that all of our community gets involved. So it's very important that that happens. Just huge thank you to all the staff and everything they do. That's all I got. Moving on to item number 20, vouchers.
I'd like to make a motion, we pay the vouchers in the amount of $1,168,814.04.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Warren and a second by Commissioner Vasquez. Any further discussion? All in favor? 5-0, motion passes. We are adjourned.